Hi everybody, my name is Jackie Cahalan. I am a psychologist and I wanted to talk to you a little bit this morning about how to make decisions for your family and your children in the time of COVID. Now that things are opening back up again in a lot of places, sports are starting, camps are starting, people are going back to work. How do you think about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and what is okay? One thing I want to say is that these decisions are going to be different for everybody and for every family. And so we really need to try to hold space and have grace for people who may be making different decisions than we are. Everybody has, some people have people in their family with pre-existing conditions. Some people live with elderly relatives. Some people are going back and forth to high-risk work settings. And some people just have a higher or lower risk tolerance than others, and that is fine. You need to ultimately try to make the best decisions that you can and that you can be comfortable with. I think another major consideration is your specific community. If you live in a community that is a hotspot or where infection rates are high or are climbing, where you are considered to be in a crisis mode, then you are going to be far more conservative about what you decide to do and engage in. When you're in a crisis, any crisis, typically a lot of your time and energy and resources is going to go into managing that crisis. And then once the crisis has stabilized, then you can think about more maintenance. And a maintenance phase is generally where you consider all of the risks and all of the considerations and you look for more of a balance rather than just putting all of your energy into one thing. And there are a lot of different considerations that need to be balanced here. I will say that while children are, for the most part, very resilient and many kids will bounce back from tricky circumstances, I do worry about prolonged social isolation and the impact that that will have not only on mental health but on social development, cognitive development, emotional development. So you can't just be thinking about physical health long term. You need to find a way to consider all of these things and see if there is a way to have a balance. After that, I think it comes down to really thinking about priorities and what your priorities are for your family. If your priority is to see the grandparents all the time, then you make that your number one thing and maybe you hold off on other things. If your priority is to get your kids back into camp or sports, then maybe you hold off on visits with high-risk people. If you need to work and you need to get your kids back in daycare, then that becomes your priority there. And I just think it's important to think that whenever you open yourself up in one area of your life, think about how you can do it in the lowest risk way, and are there other areas of your life where you could limit risk. The other thing that I think you should think about is how risky different settings are. What kind of safety precautions are different activities utilizing? Are kids able to socially distance? Are they wearing masks? Are they using good hand hygiene? Are they with sort of a limited number of kids? Or are they with sort of all kinds of different kids from all different places? These are all things to take into consideration, because while you can never eliminate risk, I think the more you can try to reduce it and manage it, the better off you're going to be. And the good news about all this is that, data is forthcoming and there is so much we still don't know, and researchers are kind of scrambling to learn, but the most recent data suggests that kids actually contract this virus at lower rates than adults or older people, and that is even with the same exposure. So that's awesome. That doesn't mean there's no risk. It doesn't mean that kids can't get sick, but it just means that the risk is a little bit lower for them. The final thing that I want to say about this is that the more that you can take precautions, the more that you can wear masks, the more that you can try to socially distance, the more that you can use good hand hygiene, not only does that protect your family, but that protects the entire community. And that is what is going to enable activities to be safe and businesses to be open and things to run. So the more you can do that proactively, the more it should help in all these other areas in terms of getting your community and your life up and running again in as safe a way as possible. So that's it. I hope that's helpful. Feel free to reach out with any questions, and good luck and stay safe. Thanks.